With the Photographer by Stephen Leacock. One fine afternoon, man went into a photographer's studio and said politely, "I want my photograph taken." The photographer looked at him without the slightest excitement. He was drooping man dressed in a grey suit, with dull eyes that made him look like a scientist, bored with life. His face had no smile, only seriousness. "Sit there," the photographer said flatly, pointing to a chair. "And wait." So the man sat down and waited. He waited for nearly an hour, reading old, dusty magazines that lay on the table. He runned the Ladies' Companion for 1912, the Girls' Magazine for 1902, and the Infants' Journal for 1888. As he turned the yellow pages, he began to regret coming there at all. It felt as if he had disturbed a very busy and important scientist with his simple face. Finally, after an hour, the photographer opened the door of his inner room and said sternly, "Come in." The man got up quickly and entered the studio. "Sit down," ordered the photographer. The man sat on a stool under a beam of sunlight that came through white cotton sheet hanging over the skylight. The whole place smelled of chemicals and old furniture. Then, the photographer rolled a big camera into the middle of the room and crawled behind it. He peeped through it for a few seconds, just enough to get a quick look at his customer's face. Suddenly, he jumped up, grabbed a long hooked stick, and began pawing at the cotton cloth and the window panes. He looked as if he was fighting for more air and light. After some time, he returned to his camera, pulled a black cloth over his head, and became completely silent. The man, seeing this, thought the photographer must be praying before taking the picture, so he sat very still out of respect. When the photographer finally came out, he looked serious and unhappy. "The face is quite wrong," he said at last. "I know," said the man calmly. "I've always known it." The photographer sighed deeply. "I think the face would be better 3/4 full." "I'm sure it would," said the man cheerfully, glad that the photographer was at least talking kindly. "Many faces look narrow and dull when seen straight, but when turned 3/4. But the photographer had already stopped listening. He came over, took the man's head in his hands, and twisted it sideways. For a moment, the poor man thought the photographer was about to kiss him, so he closed his eyes in surprise. But no such thing happened. The photographer studied his face seriously and said, "I don't like the head." He went back behind the camera, looked again, and began giving instructions. "Open the mouth a little," he said. The man started to do so. "Close it," said the photographer quickly. "Now, the ears are bad. Try to droop them little more. Good. Now roll the eyes in under the lids. Hands on the knees, face slightly up. Expand the lungs, please. Hump the neck a bit. Contract the waist. Twist the hip towards the elbow. Yes, that's better. Though the face is still a little too full, but..." That was too much for the poor man. He couldn't take it anymore. "Stop," he said suddenly, his voice shaking with emotion. "This face is my face. It is not yours. I've lived with it for 40 years. I know it isn't perfect. I know it's not beautiful. But it's mine, the only one I have. I've grown used to it, even learned to like it. These ears are mine, this mouth is mine, these eyes belong to me, and if your machine is too narrow..." Snick. Before he could finish his speech, the photographer pulled a string. The picture was taken. "I think," said the photographer proudly, "I caught the features just in moment of animation." "Animation," the man repeated bitterly. "So you didn't think I could animate my face, eh? Let me see the picture." "Oh, there's nothing to see yet," said the photographer calmly. "I must develop the negative first. Come back on Saturday and I'll show you proof." So the man left. On Saturday, he came back, feeling both nervous and hopeful. The photographer seemed quieter that day, but there was pride in his eyes. "Here it is," he said, showing the proof of a large photograph. They both looked at it silently. Is it me? Asked the man softly. Yes, said the photographer, it is you. They kept staring at it. The eyes don't look like mine, the man said slowly. Oh, I retouched them, said the photographer proudly. They come out beautifully now. Fine, said the man, but my eyebrows don't look like that. No, said the photographer, I removed them. We now use a new process, the Delphide, to draw better ones. I also moved the hairline higher. I don't like the hair too low on the forehead. Oh, you don't? Said the man coldly. No, continued the photographer seriously, and your mouth was too low, so I adjusted it. The ears, though, are quite good. But don't worry, I can fix those too with our sulfide process. We can remove them completely. The man couldn't take it anymore. He stood up straight, his face red with anger. Listen, he shouted. I came here for a photograph, a picture that looks like me. I wanted something my friends could keep after I die, something to remember me by. But it seems such things are no longer made. So go on. Take your negative, dip it in sulfide, bromide, oxide, whatever you like. Remove the eyes, correct the mouth, fix the face, polish it, paint it, coat it with gloss until even you are proud of it. And when it's done, keep it for yourself. For me, it's a worthless piece of paper. With tears in his eyes, the man turned and walked out of the studio, leaving the great artist staring silently after him. And that's a wrap, folks. Hope English felt a little less boring and a lot more fun today, just how we do it here at Gyan Guru. If you learned something new, or just enjoyed the vibes, don't forget to like, share, and of course, subscribe for more cool lessons and animated stories. Till next time, stay curious and stay awesome.